Hi, I'm Martin Lindsay from the Studying Learning Centre at RMIT University. This is a short movie on percentages. A percentage means out of 100. For example, 25% means 25 out of 100, or 25 divided by 100. 7% means 7 divided by 100, or 7 out of 100. And 98% means 98 out of 100, or 98 divided by 100. Let's start by changing percentages into fractions. Look at the first one. 75% is 75 divided by 100. What we need to do is to break that down into smaller numbers. In other words, we're simplifying the fraction. So let's divide by 25, top and bottom, and we get 3 divided by 4. So 75% as a fraction is 3/4. Similarly, 40% is 40 divided by 100. Notice here that there are zeros top and bottom. Cancel one on the top with one on the bottom. That leaves us with 4 over 10, which cancels even further into 2 over 5. So 40% is 2/5. Let's look at a large percentage and change this to a fraction. 175% is the same as 175 divided by 100. But now we turn this into a mixed fraction, which is 1 and 75 over 100. Notice again that 75 over 100 can be cancelled down, so we divide both top and bottom by 25, leaving us with an answer of 1 3/4. So 175% is 1 3/4. Now let's change a decimal percentage into a fraction. For instance, we have the percentage 17.5%, which is 17.5 over 100. What we need to do here is to turn that 17.5 into a whole number so that we can then cancel the terms down. So we're multiplying 17.5 by 10, and doing that to the top, we must do the same thing to the bottom. In other words, 17.5 by 10 is 175. 100 times 10 is 1000. Now we look to see if anything cancels, and of course it does. We can divide both top and bottom by 25, leaving us with an answer of 7 over 40. So 17.5% is 7 over 40 as a fraction. Now let's look at a small decimal percentage. We have here 1.25%, which is the same as 1.25 divided by 100. Again, we need to turn the 1.25 into a whole number, so this time we multiply by 100, because 1.25 has got 2 decimal places. And similarly, we must multiply the denominator by 100 as well. The top line becomes 125, the bottom line becomes 10,000, which cancels down into 1 over 80. So 1.25% is 1 over 80 as a fraction. Now let's change percentages into decimals. As an example, 15% is the same as 15 over 100. Change a percentage into a decimal. We always move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So if you move the decimal point 2 places to the left, we end up with 0.15. Similarly, with a large percentage, 220% is the same as 220 divided by 100. So the quick way to do this is to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So we end up with an answer of 2.2. So 220% is 2.2 as a decimal. Finally, 7.9% is 7.9 divided by 100. And dividing by 100, you simply move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So moving it 2 places to the left leaves us with an answer of 0.079. So 7.9% is 0.079. Now let's change fractions into percentages. So here we're working in reverse to what we were doing in previous slides. Here's an example, 7 over 10. To change a fraction into a percentage, we always multiply by 100. And because the fraction is written as 7 over 10, we can write the 100 as a fraction as well, 100 over 1. Notice that 1 0 on the top will cancel with 1 0 on the bottom. In other words, I'm dividing by 10, which leaves us with 70 over 1, which gives us an answer of 70%. In other words, 7/10 is 70% as a percentage. How about changing decimals into percentages? Well, we use the same idea as before. Here's an example, 0.55. To change that decimal into a percentage, we multiply by 100. And when you multiply by 100, what you're actually doing is you're moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. So we start at the decimal point, move 2 places, and we finish after the last digit, the 5 in this case. So we have an answer of 55, which is 55%. So 0.55 is 55% as a percentage. What about small decimals? Changing those into percentages. We used exactly the same rule as before. Here's an example, 0.09. To change that into a percentage, we multiply by 100. So again, as before, we're moving the decimal point 2 places to the right, and here the decimal point ends up on the far right hand side after the last digit, the 9. So our answer is 9%. So 0.09 is 9% as a percentage. Now try some problems for yourself. The answers to these questions are on the next slide. Thanks for watching this short movie.